Hey man, what it is? This is Deem. I am your host, and this is By Any Means. I appreciate everybody that shows support, who like and subscribe. There go the Cash App. If your heart, does send, if your heart wants to, send $1, send 50 cents, send a quarter, send $3,000. Either way, that would be much, much appreciated. The Hawk coming. Yeah, David Morrell showed last night what I've been telling y'all. He's the best at 168, period. David Benavidez can't beat him. Canelo Alvarez can't beat him. And if they set it up, y'all, I will be willing to bet any one of y'all who think differently. That man is too powerful. That man is too fast. That man jab is impeccable. That man punches was sounding. When David Morrell hit him with that straight left in the first round, I jumped back. I thought he hit me. Y'all, I thought he hit me through the screen. God, get him out of there. He is showing that not only is he steps above the competition, but he's going in there with guys that y'all say, "Oh, Dean, he's supposed to beat him." Oh, he is, and look what he's doing in the first and second round. So it shows you that even these guys that are pretty good are so much underneath where he is. It's not even funny. David Morrell shouldn't even have tune-ups because, to be honest, or he needs higher competition because, to be honest, somebody going to die in the ring messing with David Morrell. David Morrell is just a generational talent. Now, I ain't saying he the best fighter in boxing, but I ain't saying he ain't either. I'm not saying he the best fighter in boxing, but I ain't saying that he ain't either. It's going to take an army. It's going to take missiles. It's going to take everything in the artillery to beat a David Morrell. If you don't have great footwork, you won't beat him. If you don't have power, you won't beat him. If you're not a special fighter, you won't beat him. And I think even if you is a special fighter, you still get knocked out because he's that special. We are witnessing greatness right before our eyes, y'all. I want y'all to think of the Hawk character. What is the way to stop him? There is none. You better hold him down, tie him down. You better build another Hawk. You better go to the lab and try to insert what he has in his DNA and try to recreate that somewhere, because that is the only way I see this man losing. I don't think nobody else is talented enough or has the size. Is Canelo talented enough? Yeah, but he don't have the size to beat David Morrell. If Canelo fought David Morrell, that'd be the best person he has ever fought. Period. Canelo has never dealt with that skill set. Canelo has never dealt with a fighter like David Morrell. Neither has David Benavidez. I like David Benavidez. David Benavidez is not fast enough to beat David Morrell. David Benavidez's footwork is nowhere near where David Morrell is. David Morrell is too agile for David Benavidez. And I think that David Morrell, as far as body type, they're built the same exact way. I think arm length and the whole nine. So David Morrell's the only fighter in 168 that him or Canelo can't bully. They can get bullied, but they can't bully him. Look at his physique compared to them. And look what he shows with the physique. Because Tim Bradley had a physique and he couldn't even punch through a brown paper bag, a wet paper bag. But we know that that's not the case with the Hawk. And I told y'all he literally doesn't have any weaknesses. He got one weakness that you could, and I don't even think it's a weakness because I think he's pretty good at it. But I'll say one thing that he's not better at than everything else, and that's his defense. But when you can't stop an unstoppable force like the Hawk, he don't need too much defense now, does he? He just come through in pure destruction. That boxing ring is like a building to the Hawk. Pure destruction. And when he turns it on, as y'all seen, when he stopped being Bruce Banner and he turns it on and becomes that devastating force, you can't beat him. There's nothing you can do with this man. They try, but they can't. There's nothing he doesn't do well in the ring. Do y'all understand that? He's probably going to be more athletic. Put it like this. It's going to be hard to beat him because when you walk in the ring, no matter who you think has a chance to beat him, they won't be that much better than him at anything in the ring. Not one attribute of boxing. David Morrell is possibly the best fighter in the world, and I'm calling, you heard it here first, before everybody else, before they jump on his bandwagon 2-3 years from now, even today. David Morrell might be the best fighter in the world. Not Bud Crawford, not Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, David Benavidez, Canelo, all these other guys. Because everybody else I just named, I think has zero chance of even fighting this man. Couldn't stand in the ring with him. Couldn't withstand what he could dish out. I think David Morrell has the opportunity to be the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. And it is going to be hard to even try to dispute me on this. The talent jumps through the screen. Tell me what he don't do good. You know why you can't? Because his fights don't last that long. So even if you try to get in my comments and lie about what he doesn't do well, you don't know. Because you ain't even seen him fight long enough. David Morrell probably has in total 3, 6. David Morrell probably, with all his professional fights together, probably got an hour of boxing. I want y'all to think about that. The man got 10 fights and probably only been fighting. Now, I'll give him more than that because he went 12 rounds one time. So the man don't even got 2 hours worth of boxing. He don't even got 2 hours worth, y'all. If you add the rounds up by time, I don't think he has 2 hours worth of boxing because he's destroying people like Mike Tyson in the late 80s and early 90s. David Morrell Jr. is great for the sport, and it is an atrocity that he is not more popular than he is. But that's why I'm here. Because to me, I feel the same way that I should be way more popular than I am. Because I feel as though I'm an unstoppable force in this YouTube game. Fearless, say all facts. You can't find a weakness in none of my arguments. I keep it all the way 100. I pop up to any panels. Actually, these YouTube channels be scared of me. Because they want me to go on their channels, but when I've offered them the smoke on mine, they duck the smoke. They ducked it like Devin Haney ducking Gervonta Davis. And it's funny because they represent Devin Haney, but neither here nor there. David Morrell is different, y'all. He got the body of Terminator. He got the long-ass arms, great footwork, great power, and all the things that you score a boxing match on, David Morrell does great. His defense, let's say that's good. Effective aggression, great. Clean and effective punching, great. Ring generalship, probably his best attribute. Did y'all see him dancing in there? Spinning around, playing with his food? Did y'all see him? That's what greatness looks like, y'all. And I don't need his career to end to know what I'm looking at. Y'all dudes may need that because you don't really know what you're looking at. Y'all claim to know boxing, but if you don't see that man has the potential to be the best fighter in the world, period, then I don't know what you're watching. I don't know what you're watching. If you went into a lab and created a boxer, David Morrell was who they would come out with. If you went into a lab and created a boxer, I'm going to say it again, David Morrell Jr. is who you would come out with. He's a created player, y'all. He's Victor Wembanyama. That's who David Morrell is. Victor Wembanyama in the NBA, then you got David Morrell over here in boxing. Y'all need to get with it or get lost. I know we like Canelo. I know I love David Benavidez. That's my guy. He can't beat him. All the stuff that David Benavidez does, I'm not confident he's going to be able to do that. Is he going to be able to bully David Morrell? Is he going to be able to wear David Morrell down when David Morrell is possibly bigger than him? And what I mean by bigger, more muscle tone. And I know y'all be like, well, muscle tone don't matter. Yeah, it usually don't matter because sometimes the flabbier guy beat the more muscular guy. But it's rare that the flabbier guy beats the guy that's more athletic and just as strong as him, though. That's the problem. David Benavidez might be running into the bully. He's not going to want to lean on David Morrell because that means he got to get close and he's going to get uppercutted, left hooked, jab, body all night long. David Benavidez best because if David Benavidez tries to make it a brawl, what he's good at, David Morrell's good at too. The difference is that David Morrell is a tick faster than him. So the punches is coming out. You swinging, I'm swinging. David Morrell moves his head more than David Benavidez does. It's just that nobody's been able. Caleb Plant boxed David Benavidez's head off for 6 rounds. You will never see nobody do that to David Morrell. Caleb Plant is not capable of doing that to David Morrell. And I hope that fight's next, so y'all could see what I'm telling you. Caleb Plant, you know, the first 6 rounds he was doing very good against David Benavidez. Caleb Plant don't make it past 7 rounds with David Morrell. Caleb Plant does not make it past 7 rounds with David Morrell. Caleb Plant's face will be bloody after 4 rounds with David Morrell. David Morrell beat the guy up so bad immediately after he got knocked out, he started making excuses. That's what these fighters do. That's how you know a lot of them is cowards. Why make excuses when you don't have to? Why make excuses when you don't have to? You got beat up, bro. Now you want to talk about what they do in Minneapolis and what they don't do. They put the fight in Minneapolis because that's where he's from, besides Cuba. They put the fight in Minneapolis because he was the headliner and his mom and dad was coming to see him fight. But you ain't had no problem with them fighting in Minneapolis prior to you fighting. You was on the press conference talking crazy, and then you got knocked out like all y'all fighters do. Chris Colbert, y'all get knocked out, and then you got an excuse afterwards. You're a coward. And I don't respect it. And that's why it happened to you. Because look at your mentality. I could tell why you got beat up and why you got knocked out. Because look at your mentality. You're a coward. David Morrell Jr., a.k.a. the Hawk, is coming, y'all. He's here. And y'all got to deal with it. David Benavidez, Canelo, we don't want to hear it. Jamal Charlo, Caleb Plant, all you other dudes at 168, Jaime McGill. Listen, I don't care which one he fight. He going to knock y'all down one by one because it ain't going to take that long. So David Benavidez, if you cannot get that fight with Canelo, sir, you know who you need to be fighting, right? As long as me and you on the same page, David. If you cannot get that fight with Canelo, ain't nowhere to hide, sir. Don't do to David Morrell what you said Canelo doing to you. Don't do it to David Morrell what you say Canelo is doing to you. Y'all are the same age, sir. You and him are the same age, sir. He's a year younger than you, sir. Y'all know what this is. Deem by any means. I love and appreciate every single one of y'all that support me. Straight up. I'll get at y'all.